Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Up Supercast Game Club. My name is Brandon, and I am your host. Joining me today, I have Will.
Beep it up, dangerous.
I've got Noah.
Don't wake me.
And, of course, I've got Ills.
Ribbit.
That's very good, all of you.
That's
very
great.
Good. Good impressions. You guys were doing impressions of some characters in a Gamecube game known as Chibi-Robo. And that is the game that we played this week here on the Game Club. And Will, you picked this game.
I did.
This game was released on the Nintendo GameCube back in 2005 in Japan, June 23rd, and February 8th, 2006, North America, and a little bit later, in May 26th, 2006, in Europe. This game was developed by Skip Limited, or Skip Ltd. They are known as the Chibi-Robo guys, mostly. But they also worked on those art style games on the DSiWare and the WiiWare. I don't know if you ever played any of those, but I sure didn't.
I played one.
One of them.
I didn't have a DSi, so
There was a lot of those. They were pumping them out. And they of course also worked on the ever so important piece of gaming history known as Captain Rainbow.
Of course.
On the Nintendo
You can
Wii.
see the DNA. They have similar vibes.
Yes.
A future game club pick, to be sure.
I mean, hell, I would be into that. If you don't know about Captain Rainbow, please look it up because it's a interesting game, especially if you're into Nintendo history.
Yeah.
But that game never came out outside of Japan. But I believe there is an English patch, so it is possible to play it if you want to. Speaking of games that never came outside of Japan, Chibi-Robo also had a couple sequels. One that came out on the Nintendo DS, it never came outside of Japan. Actually had, and then another one on the DS that did come over here, called Chibi-Robo Park Patrol. And since then, he's laid low a little bit. He had a little side game called Chibi-Robo Photo Finder on the 3DS, and then most recently, Chibi-Robo Ziplash, which is definitely not like this game that we played today. It's a side-scroller. Came with an amiibo. So there is a Chibi-Robo.
That's the reason why you bought it,
yeah,
right?
like the DS game, the sequel, didn't come to the States or to the West in general.
Yeah.
I heard that one was really good.
Yes, that's what I heard too.
And
I heard-
it's the most direct as a sequel.
Yeah,
yes.
it translates completely to what this game is. It's
In
very
terms
much
of
the same
gameplay,
style.
yeah.
And story. The daughter
And
in this
story.
game is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
parent in that game.
Yeah, which is... I don't know why they... it's weird, maybe we'll never know why, but that game never came out over here, which is super odd.
Especially because we got the other ones, right? If they just killed
Yeah.
Chibi-Robo in general, that would make sense. But no, everything else but that made it.
Yeah, and I don't know the sale figures of Chibi-Robo in outside of Japan. Probably not great. There was also this Chibi-Robo, the original, was also released on the Wii in Japan only as part of that new Play Control series. I don't know if I don't know if you know the original story of Chibi-Robo. They were it was developed originally by Bandai Namco, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think it was just
and
Bandai.
They did have the
at that
Namco
point.
logo on the
Yeah,
game,
and well, they ended up partially publishing this game with Nintendo. But anyway, it was going to be a point and click. So I wonder if on the new Play Control, if it was a point and click, I don't know.
If I were to take a guess, I would think it would be mostly you waggle to do the toothbrush and stuff like that.
I mean, I like the idea
would
of
be
that.
cool.
Yeah, because I like the toothbrushing segments, so that would be cool. To, you know what I mean?
So Will,
Yes, sir.
now we got the basic stats of this game out of the way. You picked this game, and I was wondering, and probably everybody else was wondering, why did we play this game? Why did this game come up to you? Why did you pick it?
Great question. So I mean, this is one of those instances of I played this game, but I played it when it came out in 2006. I had not played it since.
Yeah.
And we had played the director of this game, Kenichi Nishi. He worked on. He helped direct Incredible Crisis, another Game Club game. And so that was already in my brain. But then recently, I'm going to say a specific name, Kyle Bossman, who's a guy on Easy Allies. He was streaming Chibi-Robo, and I thought, oh man, I can't wait to see Chibi-Robo again. And then he played it, and he was a big sad sack about it, and he was like, I don't like this game, and he quit. And I thought, guess what? I'm now in the mood to play Chibi-Robo myself. And I knew that I think at least Noah and Nils hadn't played this game before. So I thought, why not? What better occasion than to play it on the Game Club?
Yeah,
Justice for Chibi-Robo.
I really enjoyed this game.
So, yeah, I played it prior to, back in 2006, just like you, and I was a big fan of this game when it came out, and I went back to it.
Still are a big fan.
Yeah, man. I've always been an advocate for Chibi-Robo and Smash Brothers. Please, Nintendo.
Maybe. He has when you look, you think like this guy, he has like 5 games under his belt. That's more than...
he has more than enough potential.
Yeah. The potential moveset's easily there, I think.
Yeah.
And I've thought that since the first game.
It's super easy to tell, like, what you can make him do.
Yeah. So he's a nifty
copter,
little
the
robot.
blaster, the toothbrush, everything.
Yeah.
And he's a great design. Like, that's sort of the story of, because you mentioned Nintendo taking over from Bandai Namco. Like, it was one of the few times, I think Miyamoto's listed as like an executive. It's a role that he doesn't get often. And essentially it's because he came in and said, hey, this guy is great. I love this little guy. Everything else can sort of like whatever. Like, we're not doing the point and click thing, but we're gonna make a game with this cute little robot because I love him.
Yeah.
And so
They kept Chibi-Robo. Chibi-Robo's design did not change almost at all from the original concept that they're out there. There's some concept stuff on it running on Gamecube. And I don't know if you looked into it, but the original story had Chibi-Robo protecting like a professor that I guess made him from. He was protecting his house from robbers, almost like Home Alone style.
Wow, you're setting traps? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, you'd have to go around and set up traps and stuff to try to protect his house from robbers. Interesting.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. But yeah, they definitely shifted tones with this game. So, of course, you play in this. It's not point and click like they originally intended. You play as Chibi-Robo. You control him in kind of not really a 3D platformer, but it kind of is. It's like a platform adventure type game.
Yeah.
And Chibi-Robo's only a couple centimeters tall.
He's a tiny guy.
He's a tiny dude. Yeah, he runs around the house. And your task really at the beginning of the game is to make this family happy. Really, that's your goal.
It's always your task.
Yeah, it really is. It's always your task, really.
They're having troubles. It's been a hard road for that family.
Yeah,
for the Sandersons.
The game opens up and it's Jenny's birthday. Jenny's the daughter. She's a little girl, probably like 9 or 10. It's her birthday, and the father buys her a Chibi-Robo. And just instantly right off the bat, you got the mom saying, how could you afford this? These things aren't cheap.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay. And Chibi-Robo there's a bunch of them out there, and they're all just made to kind of just make your life better by going around picking up after you. It's like a Roomba.
Roomba, yeah.
In a way. Before Roombas were actually a thing. It's like a futuristic Roomba, and he just goes around, cleans up the house, does little chores to just make your life a little bit better. And that's you think about that, it doesn't sound like that would translate well into a video game, but it does.
It is funny. It shares the DNA of another GameCube game, which maybe is why Miyamoto liked it. Mario Sunshine. It's like a non-small amount of both these games is spent cleaning things up.
Yeah. They turn a thing like cleaning up in a house into a kind of a fun task, and it's weird because when you go around, you are cleaning up the house, but you're also doing missions and side quests for all these other characters throughout the game. And
all the other toys.
What?
All the other toys. It's basically Toy Story.
Yeah.
The toys are alive and they come out at night
life
when the people aren't around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. During the day, you've got the family walking around. There's a day and night cycle in this game, and at night you have the toys. And the toys, man, they all have personalities of their own, and they're really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone has like their own backstory that you can help them out with, and like it helps actually understand how like everything is interconnected with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's real relationships going on between these toys. They love each other, they hate each other, they're friends. You know, they have backstories. It's all really good, honestly, and it's surprising because you wouldn't think you'd get that out of this game, but you really do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all the little stories really come together nicely, and like, yeah, just playing with the soldier, the eggs.
Yeah, the eggs.
Are they even toys?
The free rangers.
Yeah,
The Free Rangers. Yeah, they're like toys. They're like little like army men.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they're like,
Well, they're eggs, but they're also army eggs, so it's weird. Yeah.
Yeah, it's real weird. So
Just
yeah,
like
they have
Free
like a
Rangers.
vendetta with the dog.
Yeah.
Tao.
The dog is like always chewing on this chew toy, who's in love with this other fucking
with
action
the
figure
dad's
guy.
action figure. Yeah.
Oh man, it's crazy.
Yeah. The dad's a big nerd, so he's got toys laying around the house. Like
Yeah.
he loves Drake Redcrest, which is a superhero, and it's his favorite thing. You see Redcrest posters and cups and all sorts of stuff throughout the house. In his bedroom, he has like a shrine with all sorts of toys. And
Yeah.
it's really cool. Honestly, they bring a lot of life, even to the family themselves and everything.
Yeah, the story with the family is surprisingly dark. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it goes
pretty deep.
places.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
a game with this kind of aesthetic and like what you're doing in the game, you're just kind of going around helping toys. Like all the family members have some fucking problems, bro.
Yeah, because you deal with the father getting laid off from his job and not working, and the wife having a problem with it, and just almost even she says she wants a divorce at one point in the game, and it's heavy, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the daughter's basically like stuck in like frog mode. Basically, she won't talk regularly.
Yeah, she's always
Yeah,
wearing a
you
frog
almost
costume.
think to yourself, I wonder if
Yeah.
it's got something to do with the parents and the problems that they're having. Maybe she's just kind of trying to shut herself out. I don't know
Yeah.
if I look too deeply into it, but that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah, but they're all like endearing characters.
Oh yeah.
So
They are.
you care about them, like you
Yeah.
want to help them, and
Yeah.
every time you do something nice, you clean up, you get happy points, you make them happy.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
And
Yeah,
it's
they're
cute
always nice to you.
Yeah, they are, especially
Yeah.
the mom. She's super nice.
Yeah. Especially because, like, I really like when you have, like, tea with her. It's really cute. It's, like, a great little, just, like, moment of just, like, here, she's, like, gives you, like, a cookie that's way bigger than you are. And she's, like,
You give it right back to her.
yeah, and it's good. It's just, like, it's fun little character interactions that, like, when it does get heavy, it means more.
Yeah. And the dad goes through, like, a good character arc throughout the whole game, to me. I thought it was
Yeah.
really good. He
Yeah.
has a lot of development.
And it's, you don't expect these weird, like, I mean, it goes places, like, spoilers, I guess, like, aliens are involved, there's evil
Time travel.
robots, time travel, evil robot spiders, like, it's a lot, and, like, the dad helped make them, which is why he doesn't want to go back, because he feels guilty about making them. It's a whole thing, and you're like,
Yeah. It wasn't that he got laid off, it's that he quit, you find
Yeah.
that, it is a whole thing.
And the thing with Giga-Robo's fucking wish, oh man,
oh,
was
brutal.
rough.
It's good.
Yeah.
rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, man,
stuff.
it's really good. It's like we mentioned, you just don't expect it coming out of this game.
It has a really solid emotional core.
Yeah.
It does,
Yeah.
and the aesthetic of this game with just you look at it and it's got its own unique art style, and it's very cutesy. It's very bright and colorful and vibrant. Almost like a 70s.
Yeah, it's like very, like, Art Deco kind
yeah.
of, like,
Yeah, the
And
house.
each room has like a specific like color scheme, like all very unique looking to the rest of the house.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's very weird because it's like just a giant open room, like each room, like the kitchen, the living room, the upstairs foyer, and the bedrooms. But it's like because like Chibi-Robo's so small and you can only traverse so much without like having. Once you unlock like other abilities like the ladders and all that, like you find like these little secret areas behind the furniture and like. It's basically like opens up like the level even more. Like it's they did an incredible
Yeah.
job on like the level design itself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like,
It reminds-
suddenly... Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, a lamp is like a giant thing that just you like spend like a full like 30 seconds climbing,
Yeah.
and like they use that scale really well. Like suddenly like
Yeah.
climbing a couch is like a quest you have to undergo, you know, like which is
cool. You look around the room with like the first person view and say, how do I get up there, right?
Exactly.
I can see something and I need to figure out how do you go look around and figure out what do I traverse, how do I get to this point? And it's like an adventure in itself, you know? Trying to figure out how to get there.
Yeah, exactly. And I forgot what I was gonna say.
I'm sorry.
Oh, this game reminds me a lot of Minish Cap.
Sure.
Legend of Zelda Minish Cap, because a lot of the same things. Like you're going around these huge environment, like you're super small, like you turn super small, but everything around you is super big, and it reveals like hidden layers to these otherwise ordinary spaces. You know what I mean? So everything has like a hidden layer of depth that you wouldn't expect there to be.
Yeah, and that's a good comparison. So while you're at Chibi-Robo, one of the other things we haven't mentioned yet that you have to keep in mind is that you have a battery pack. So you have to, while you're doing this stuff, you have to make sure that you don't run out of battery power, or you'll pass out. You know, you'll end up getting kicked back to the Chibi house, which is like your recharge station. So that's another thing you have to keep in mind. You run around, there's outlets throughout the house that you plug into to recharge. But while you're on these, I got to climb this lamp. I got to remember, I only have, X amount of energy. Do I have enough energy to get to this where I'm trying to go? So you have to manage that at the same time.
Every action takes energy, basically.
Everything, basically every single thing you do, whether it's walking, climbing, picking stuff up, even,
Yeah. But as you get happy points, you get higher in rank, you get a longer and longer battery.
Yeah, you get battery upgrades.
Yeah, and so it's a nice little way of like, it sort of syncs up. At least for me, it synced up well. Like I would get the battery pack sort of when I unlocked a new area, so I would have more to play with.
Yeah,
right.
And even if you do run out of battery, like you only collapse and go back to the Chibi house. You don't lose the rest of the day. You only lose a little bit of money. That's it.
You lose some money.
And in fact, you need to at least once, like, because you need to get the different costumes.
You get two different costumes, right? Two different costumes from falling down, right?
Yeah.
One to get like the damaged costume, and then you use that costume to get the ghost one. Yeah. But you don't actually die. It's like a special ability kind of thing.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. You do get different costumes throughout the game that you use to do different interactions with different characters, which you don't add a lot, but they're neat.
Yeah. I was hoping that the costumes would be used more.
Yeah.
Like, I felt like that was like a kind of a missed opportunity. They could have done like a lot more with the costume, dressing up Chibi-Robo.
I just like the aesthetic of them. Like I thought the ghost costume was really cute, and like the Drake Redcrest thing. But it's fun to run around with them. But like you said, when you actually don't use them very much, if you
the only one that has an actual purpose is the pajamas, because you can press Z to go to sleep and it will end the day automatically.
Yeah,
it's super useful.
Yeah,
I mean, because that was one of my complaints, is that you couldn't like, if you only had like a minute left of the timer and you were just like, oh, I can't do anything with this amount of time because I'm like, stuck in the upstairs and have to be downstairs, something like that.
Yeah.
Like I was annoyed that you couldn't just fast forward, skip to the end. Of that day, but with the bandage, the bandage costume allows you to skip that, so I was happy about that at least.
Yeah,
and it works because I think that like, especially at the start when you're ranking up very fast, like if you have a minute left, you can sort of say, okay, I'll like pick up some stuff to sort of dump in the trash tomorrow, right? Like I'll fill out my time. But as you get higher and higher on the ranks and the gaps between each step gets bigger and bigger, it's like you're right, and then you sort of say like, well, I just have to wait a minute for the time to skip over. But you get those things around that time, so it syncs up in a decent way, at least for me.
Yeah, it wasn't a major concern for me.
Yeah. You also, besides the costumes, you get different tools that you can use throughout the game. You get the toothbrush, which you use as a brush to clean, mud and puddles and dog prints. You have a blaster, which you can use to for a few different things. You can use to fight the spiders, which show up once in a while. You can use it to blast these little like stickers that unlock extra, shortcuts, or different stuff will fall down.
Yeah, you need to shoot the sticker of the window to break the window to have access to the backyard.
Yeah, that's one of them. And there's a few different stickers that you shoot.
The syringe that you can use to like water plants and spray water on things.
And there's a spoon that you use as a shovel. and there's the helicopter, which is probably the most the one you're going to be using the
useful
most.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one that comes by default, and
Yeah,
it's smart that it does.
You have the Chibi radar as well. It unveils like secret Chibi doors.
Yeah.
Because there's these little doors that are scattered throughout the game, so you just walk up to, and they have coins. Basically, you get money inside of them. And they're all throughout the house, and there's some hidden ones that are like you have to shoot them with your blaster to reveal them, but the Chibi radar shows where they are.
And you need the charge shot, I think, right?
I believe so. Yeah, you need a charge shot to make them appear.
Those
doors, though, those are some weird. When you go inside that,
it's a
that's
nightmare.
some trippy shit, huh?
What is going on in
Just
there?
a bunch of eyes circling you.
It's just a bunch of chibi eyes, like you're floating in
And
this
it's a
void.
fucking noise they make.
With more really disturbing music.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I do like the blaster. The first time I went first person, I was like, all right, you're being very cute, Nintendo.
There's a Metroid going on.
This is just Metroid. Which is funny.
Yeah.
I was a little upset that the Chibi Copter never got an upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get to jump in this game. You always have to climb and then float with the Chibi Copter.
Yeah.
And I mean, once you get to the end and like a lot of the stuff that you're not sure of how to complete or you don't know where to go, like any missions that you haven't gotten yet or you just don't understand how to get to. Sometimes you'll be wandering around the house and you'll just be wasting time because you won't know where to go.
Yeah.
So like just with the main Chibi Copter, you fuck. I'm like all over.
Just a way to like get like a boost almost, you know?
Yeah,
like,
to like be able to progress through the house like much quicker, so that you won't have to like waste so much time.
Yeah, I can see that, especially at the end. You know, you would hope that they would make a way for traversal to just be easier. You know, in a little bit more seamless.
I was hoping the words would come to me if I kept talking for a while, but
Sorry. Yeah, I want to give a little shout out because I don't forget. We have a missile update. Not missile, but we have a dog named Tao that, much like Missile, shows up in every single game that this guy directs.
That's awesome.
And I thought that was very cute. Yeah.
Missile from Ghost Trick, you mean?
Yes, in the same way that Missile was his real life dog he put in the game. This guy put it in also in Captain Rainbow. So whoever play that, we'll get to see Tao again maybe.
Oh.
Yeah. And it's cute.
If I ever become a game designer, I would put my cat in every game.
Zoe.
Zoe.
Yeah.
Oh, my cat is already in every episode of this. So.
It's true.
I just heard him.
I really like the sound design in this game. I think it's super. I know some people. I think you either like it or you find it really annoying. But just every step has everything that you do has a specific sound and instrument with it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked it at first, but then it got a little grating.
Yeah. I understand that 100%, but like, I mean, Brandon linked the tweet that I thought was really cool, of just like the guy brushing in Chibi-Robo and the guy doing the real life guitar little thing. I think that maybe if they didn't do it for when you're walking, it would be better because that's a constant, just like plink, plink, plink,
I
plink,
kind of
plink.
like
I like
it.
it that it changed.
I
Like if you
always
were on
thought
the
it was
carpet,
cute.
there's a different sound when on like tile floor, wooden floor, and things like
That's
that.
cool, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I didn't mind it that much.
I always found myself whistling along. Well, especially along when you do the climbing. I always found myself whistling that.
Yeah.
Yeah, going up, and I was just like, to me, that was just like so joyful. I don't know. I loved it. I love how everything you do has different sound effects. I thought it was.
Sometimes it
I
would
liked
randomly, like the noises, not the more like so the like the living room music. It would just randomly stop
Would just randomly stop. Yeah, I noticed that too. That was
and then
weird.
start again.
There's only like one song.
I think that was like to indicate to you that spiders were close, but
No,
I'm
that was
not
before
sure.
I even encountered any spiders.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
sometimes
Alright.
even without the spiders. The music would just be like, "I'm done. I played.
we're-
I'm not
alright.
doing a loop." It would just stop, which was fine, and then you would be in just the silence. But I will say, in terms of being annoying from the sound design, some of the characters' voices did get a little.
Yeah.
Yes.
They would grain on you after a while.
The basement. Everyone in that basement. They're all
I
problems.
like the pirate. I didn't like
Especially the
Nico,
fortune
whatever his
teller
name
guy.
is.
That fucking monkey, bro. He goes into a fucking diatribe if you just talk to him for like a second.
Yeah. And they give Plankbeard a lot of the heavy lifting for like the backstory. So you just get 15 minutes of him being like, and you're like, dude. I need a break, dude. Let me come back tomorrow.
I mean, speaking of breaks, I was thinking about this game. Like, I was starting to get a little frustrated because, like, they don't really tell you where to go sometimes. Mm-hmm. And I was thinking that this game is probably best not to try to power through. Like,
yeah,
it's better if you just try to play
This is definitely
through
a game you want to take your time with, and it's much more enjoyable that way. If you have like a time limit or a certain day, like you need to be there before, it gets a little frustrating.
Yeah. So this is like one of the more zen games, I would say.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You just kind of go with the flow.
That's a pretty good point, especially with we always look up. We always go to the tried and true howlongtobeat.com when we're playing Game Club games. And this game has Chibi-Robo listed as 12 and a half hours.
It is not.
Fuck no. Oh my god. Fuck
like, I think for me
that.
and Brandon it was, because I think we remembered. But like for the first playthrough, no way. That's like 20. You know?
No, it took me... I looked at my old save file. I had 28 hours in this bad boy. But that was...
I think I beat it in 24 hours. It was like, what double fucking...
Wow. Dang.
Yeah, unless you know exactly where to go, it's not going to take you 10 hours.
Yeah. Because it does have a little bit of that element that can happen sometimes where you're like, oh, this thing that looked optional turned out to actually be required.
Yeah.
You know?
But also, it's like a lot of the game, which is like, I love like the charm of it. Like, you just go over to one area and it's like, oh, who's this guy? I want to know what his story is and all that. And like, oh, what's that over there? Oh, what's that over there? You know? And it just gets distracted so easily. Yeah. Which is a very good thing. I love that in games, but in this kind of situation where you're trying to like beat the main story, it doesn't really help.
Yeah, because they never really make it clear like what the main story is, like what pertains to the main story and what doesn't.
Like in a certain way, I like that there's not like a quest log, because I think that would like really, I think that there's a charm to how sort of minimalist they are with that stuff. But it would be nice if you talked to Telly, right, and he was just like, hey, you should talk to this guy. Yeah.
Exactly. Telly should have been so much more helpful with his hints.
Yeah.
Telly is he's a continual presence in this game. He'll just, during that first time I played through it, he kept flying down. I was like, Telly, I got it. Dude, I'm okay. Like,
he just keeps talking.
Yeah. Oh, even when you get to like one of the highest ranks, like a late game, he gives you advice that he gave you in the beginning.
Telly's something. He grows on you though. He's kind of endearing. He's very endearing. He also is annoying at the same time.
He's charming, but he's fucking annoying.
There's a lot of them, is the thing.
Yeah.
So there's a secret Telly side quest that you can do to get the Telly sticker. That's not obvious how to do it at all.
Oh.
So I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's two spots in the game. One in the foyer, one in Jenny's room.
Where you sit down?
Jenny's room, you can sit down.
Oh, yeah.
And if you sit down and just sit there, Telly will yell at you and be like, hey, you gotta get up. You can't be sitting around being lazy. And if you ignore him and just sit there, he's like, well, if you're just gonna sit here, let me tell you a story. And if you keep doing this day after day, he'll continue his story.
Wow.
And you get to find out that Telly wants to be a singer.
That makes sense. The freaking birthday thing when they first introduced the utility bots.
That's very cute.
He has passion in being a singer. He comes down with a microphone and like a tuxedo and everything on.
Oh
and
my
he's
God.
like, this is the suit I wore to like, I don't remember what it was called, but it was like an American Idol ripoff. Like he said he went on like an American Idol type show to become a singer. It's funny and it's a cool little backstory that you wouldn't normally find either.
Yeah, that's very cute. That's awesome.
Speaking of television show ripoffs, that Fox News did.
Faux news. Incisive
very
commentary.
relevant. Like, surprisingly relevant.
You're like, oh, this kept going.
Yeah, that was really funny. I love the family. They're just great. They're all good.
The part where you fight the Queen Spider the first time, I was a kid, so it was a different thing, but I was like, man, this is too high stakes for me. Like, they're all wriggling around, like, entrapped. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, the spiders got them all tied up and up. You're fighting on the ceiling and they're all, like, hanging.
Because they're very weird. Like, the spider was up to that point, it's like, they're there, and, like, you almost, like, wonder if the family knows they exist. And then suddenly, no, like, they're very much involved, which is neat.
It's such a weird game to have a boss fight in.
I know, you wouldn't see it coming. But.
Right at the end only, too. Just the whole game, just right at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Seemed really random. Which, I kind of wonder, which, like, side quest did you guys like the most? Not including like the family one. Like which toy side quest? I don't know if you completed all of them, but like
I definitely didn't complete all of them, but
No.
I think I like the Free Rangers probably the most.
Yeah, I think that's the one I did.
And all the
most.
training was cool.
Yeah, doing all the different trainings and stuff with the Free Rangers and like the sergeant breaking down because he lost a soldier and you find the dog.
Yeah.
The dog tag and the
Yeah, that was a good one.
house.
Yeah. Even those side stories get a little sad.
Yeah.
Oh
Very
yeah.
sad.
I mean, like, there's one about an addict. Like, this bear is addicted to nectar, and he's struggling, dog. Like,
Oh,
he's trying to
man.
break the habit, and it's hard.
Yeah.
I like
Sunshine.
him. Yeah, I like Sunshine. I like Mort and the Princess. I like that.
That
Oh,
was my
that
favorite
one's the
one.
best. Yeah, that one's the best one.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, that one.
That was my favorite one. Climbing that castle was one of my favorite platforming sections of the whole game.
Exactly right. Yes, that's like one of the best platforming parts. It's so cool.
I want to give a special shout out, though, to Mr. Prongs, who is a nightmare.
God.
He's a freaky guy. He just keeps smashing the spoon in the ground, and he gets gigantic. And you're like, you need to stop growing. But he gets like genuinely as tall as a dog, and he's just gyrating in front of this poor robot. I wanted to leave, but I didn't
Yeah,
get the
it's
happy
like a
points.
chubby guy's body wearing a Speedo with a prong for a head.
Yeah, and he's tiny, and he goes, I want to hear a specific sound. And if you give the specific sound, he becomes a giant, and it's a nightmare.
I don't think I even met
I
that
didn't meet him.
character.
You have to use the chibi radar in the living room, and then it points directly at the ground, and if you dig there, he pops up, and the more you hit him with your spoon, the bigger he keeps getting until he just like starts gyrating everywhere.
Holy shit.
It's very weird.
And he just disappears. We don't know if he's a toy. Is he an alien? We don't know. He's
Yeah,
Mr.
you know,
Prongs.
he disappears, you get a sticker, and it's done. That's it.
How strange.
Yeah.
The toy I disliked the most was that fucking flower.
Funky
Mr.
Pete?
I like that flower.
Funky Phil, wasn't that his
Funky
name?
Phil. yeah, I'm sorry.
Funky Phil. I don't know. He was giving me real weird, like,
He's a-
blackface vibes. And, like,
Oh, jeez. I had not thought about it that way.
I think like
no.
the
was.
Drake Redcrest song though. You got the version with lyrics, which was very cool.
Yeah.
Dinah's cool
He has
though. Did you
kids
give
and he
Dinah all
dies?
the-
Did you do
Yeah,
that
that's
thing?
true.
You're like, whoa.
He dies.
He died.
yeah.
And Ills made sure he stayed dead.
Oh, hell yeah. Fuck him.
When you give Dinah all the blocks, by the way, you turn her into a truck.
That was pretty...
Yeah.
I think I missed one block. They just stopped. Like, they don't show you where they are anymore.
There's there's one hidden block or some shit, I think. I don't remember where I got it. Tao has one of them.
Yeah.
I probably
Outside.
didn't.
Post game. It's post game. You don't get it until post game.
Oh, okay. That
Yeah,
makes
there's
sense.
several people you can't do until you like beat the game, which is a
Yeah,
little
like
weird, but
Jenny's last ring you get after you beat the final boss.
Oh my god! Thank you for fucking telling me. Oh wait, no. I missed another one, but it never showed up.
There's
It's
one
not-
in the sewer, I think.
yeah, when you go down
In the drain
the
pipe.
sink.
You have to use
Yeah.
your Mega Blaster to blow a hole in a wall down
Oh
there.
fuck that!
Once you give her all 10, she takes the frog thing off and goes, "Oh, I broke my curse. I'm a human again. I can
Yeah,
talk."
she gives her backstory. She's like,
Yep.
and it seems like she was just
bullshit.
pretending, which is fun.
Yeah, and then as soon as you leave the room, she's like, I think I like being a frog. Puts it back on. Goes back
That
to
makes
Ribbit.
sense.
Ribbit.
You get
Yeah,
you get a
man,
lot of
this-
happy points though.
You do get a lot of happy points. I mean, you beat the game, though, because it's after you beat the
I
game, so
know.
it doesn't really matter anymore.
Yeah, but
By
I
the
do
way,
like-
go
Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead. The Super Chibi-Robo bit makes me laugh because like when Telly's like when your lower rank is super far in the distance, and then it gets bigger and bigger, and when you finally get it, it's just like you have a little S on your chest and you're a little bit more shiny, and that's it, and you're like, all right, that's pretty funny.
That's all you get. Yeah, a little tiny little S badge,
But you really get your older brother back, Giga-Robo.
and you have
His whole
infinite
story is-
battery too.
I do
It's
like
true.
Giga-Robo. He
Yeah,
was
he's
pretty
cool.
cool. And I like the aliens. The whole
Yeah.
time travel thing really came out of left field, but it was fucking cool.
But it was cool to see like the family when they were like more functional and like
Yeah.
it almost made you feel bad because you weren't able to do what Giga-Robo was doing in that moment. You know, like he was like the third member of the family and that. whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, before Jenny was born, even. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why were they arm wrestling?
He's
don't know.
gotta prove his might, but Giga-Robo's too strong.
I did like that. And the aliens were like, you know, they loved Giga-Robo because their ship was crash landing and he caught them and saved their lives. So, I'm going to give you 2 wish.
Dude.
Yeah.
Giga-Robo is a good dude, and he brought life to all the toys in the house because he wanted friends.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting like an explanation for why all the toys were alive, but they made it happen.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to get an explanation either. Like, it's cool that they gave you one, because it's like, it felt like they didn't have to, but the fact that they did made it, you know, even better.
Yeah.
You know, because you're not really questioning it. You're like, oh, well, I mean,
and all throughout the story, like, all the toys really love Giga-Robo, and that's how you find out why. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it makes that stuff like where like the mom of the intro is like, why? Is like it makes it more sad because like she's all of them were clearly broken up over Giga-Robo, and like it was almost like, why are you putting this thing back into our lives? You know how it's gonna go again, and it makes it not just like, oh, we don't have the money. It's like, oh, like these people had been hurt by having this like robot they grew attached to because they know how it was gonna go, and it was gonna go that same way again, even with Chibi-Robo.
Did they ever like resolve that?
Yeah. Right into the game because they both end up getting infinite batteries, so they don't have to worry.
For like everyone, for the world.
They say that if they because you know there's the plug-in socket on Giga-Robo and on Chibi-Robo. If you plug into them because they have infinite power, you get infinite power. You siphon off them.
Oh, so like every other Chibi-Robo has to come plug into Giga-Robo? Okay.
Yeah, and they just all plug into him, and then they're good. How that works, we don't know, but it was 2 sentences in the epilogue. We take it. Better than nothing.
True. All right, so now we got to ask a super important question. I don't know. Do you guys have anything extra that we didn't cover that you wanted to mention?
One more complaint I had.
Sure.
You cannot skip text in this game.
No.
That's a good one.
You cannot speed up text. I don't understand why the fuck you can't, but there's so much text that needed to be a necessity.
Yeah,
they
need to at least speed it up so you'd be able to like skip faster or something.
Yeah. You know, maybe not faster. Yeah, even if you couldn't skip it, as long as it could be a little bit more speedy. There should be an option. There was times where it was like, all right, come on, dude.
Especially when Telly's like telling you the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, come on.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, 100%. All right, so now it's time to see if we would recommend this game to you guys when we go through one at a time. I'm going to start with Will, because you picked this game. Will, would you recommend Chibi-Robo to somebody?
I would. I wish there was more ways to play it officially. That's the one thing that's unfortunate, but going back to it, it's still really unique in what it is and sort of. I mean, if you made it this far, we maybe spoiled some of the surprises, but I still think that there's a lot to like, even knowing that stuff walking in. So yes, I would recommend it.
All right. Ilse.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this game has a ton of charm. It's fun, but like I said, play it slow. Don't try to rush through it. It's better if you just savor it. It's like you come home at the end of the day and you plug this in, and you just relax and clean the house.
Clean the house in a video game, not in real life.
Yeah, well, your real house is filthy.
Yeah.
Hey, Noah?
Yeah, 100%. Definitely recommend this. It's, like Will said, it's very unique. There's not many games like it at all. And, yeah, it's really, really, really charming and heartwarming in some ways to go through, like, all the stories and see how they turn out.
Okay, well, you guys basically said it for me. Yes, I mean, I've been recommending people this game for years. I'm not going to stop. Recommend this game. I don't know if I'd recommend the sequels, really. Maybe the DS one, but we haven't played that yet.
We should play it.
We should someday. But the other ones, yeah, but this one, though, I tell you, man, it's one of my favorite GameCube games. GameCube is a great system. If you have one, if you have a way to play it, just... Chibi-Robo, it's kind of expensive nowadays, but it's worth it, man. I tell you what, I bought it when it came out for $50. I say, if you see it for $50 today, fuck it, just buy the game. It's really good. So, that being said, it's time to place Chibi-Robo on the list!
The list!
Okay, Will, what are you thinking? By the way, the list, there is there's a Pastebin link in the description below of this podcast. Click on that to follow along with the list so you can see what we're talking about. Every week we place what game we played on this said list, and we got to figure out, how good do we really think it is compared to these other games that are on here. So make sure you follow along in the Pastebin below. Will, what are you thinking? You get first say.
Okay.
What do you think?
So this is a hard one. I'm not sure where to go at, because there's what we call the club section, where it's just a big old fat chunk of mostly club games. And I think I would maybe put it around the Pandora's Tower Mystical Ninja area, so around like 52 through 55, basically. I don't know the specifics thereof, how we feel about.
It feels like it's for this type of game. I don't know. It feels like it's too low. I think it should go higher.
Okay. I mean, I was putting it there because I've been hurt in the past. Elite Agent still hurts my heart to this day. But I'm willing to move it up. I don't know how the other two of you feel.
Brandon?
I mean, yeah, it's one of the best. We played a lot of games on the Game Club. What game number is this? 33, something like that.
Jeez.
So we played a lot of games. And I would say this is one of the best ones.
Sure.
In my opinion, we played better, but we've certainly played worse.
That is true.
I mean,
That's a fact.
So, in terms of the club, I'm trying to think of, is it? Yeah. My weird thing is looking at it. Is it better than Mario Tennis Aces? I feel like, personally for me, it's better than Drill Dozer and probably better than Dragon Ball Fighters.
Sure.
Mario Tennis Aces is hard though to say whether it's better than that game. I don't know. Maybe you guys are thinking higher. I don't know, but that's tough. That's kind of where I'm stopping at right now.
It's weird because Mario Tennis Aces is such a fucking opposite game of what Chibi-Robo is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like completely in the opposite direction. It's like multiplayer, fast-paced action, and then this Chibi-Robo single player, take your time, very chill game.
That's the fun thing about the list. You get to talk about Metroid Other M versus Donkey Kong. Eternal Struggle.
Beast.
well, not anymore.
Not anymore, but
There was a time. Yeah, I don't know.
Noah, did you say what you wanted?
Around 45?
Okay. Wonderful 101 area.
Okay.
I think it can go around, like, maybe above Animal Crossing.
Would you put it above Einhander?
I would.
I don't know. That's so...
It's weird because Einhander is really cool visually. Like, it was very ambitious for its time too. It was like was it the first bullet hell / 3D bullet hell kind of game?
No idea.
I think there's some in arcades, but
yeah.
I don't know about
it's
console.
still that game brought me a lot of frustration, and it was very difficult to distinguish some things because of all the flashiness. So I prefer Chibi over Einhander for sure. As cool as it was.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be fine putting it above Einhander, but
The thing about Einhander is, it's designed to be one of those games, but you do get frustrated at it at some points. But
yeah. And there are some parts where,
to be fair,
the visual
I
language...
did get frustrated at some points in Chibi-Robo.
That is
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So above, you think above? I mean, I feel like I'm okay with putting it above the original Animal Crossing.
Yeah.
I feel like they're similar games. That's
Yeah.
They
sort
are.
of a good comparison.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the original Animal Crossing certainly, while it's still a good game today, it's
Takes 3 days to get a fossil back to you.
yeah.
What's
there's
this
some
nonsense?
there's some things about quality of life changes that have been made in the subsequent games that have really made the older one stand out, like how bad some of the things in it are.
Yeah.
So.
Damn.
With multiplayer, without the multiplayer.
I just realized you guys put WarioWare at 33. What the hell?
Yeah,
It's a good game.
Once again, Noah's
Good,
unhappy.
but-
Were you unhappy for like a Resident Evil 4?
No,
No, he was
I
happy
like
about
the
that.
Resident Evil 4's play.
Damn, we didn't get to hear anything about that. You only talk to us when we do bad shit, huh?
Well, I just realized about WarioWare. I knew about Resident Evil because I saw it, and then I listened to it and I edited
They
it.
didn't even tell us. They didn't even tell us. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Above Animal Crossing is good enough.
I feel like I'd be willing to put it above Einhander.
All right.
It's
Personally,
weird
I'd
because
put
you
it
were
above.
just saying that you didn't want it above Mario.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it gets past one game and then you're like, well,
Yeah.
I'd be okay with it getting past another one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's how it keeps
I'd be
Okay,
like-
then I'd be above. I'd be okay with it getting past Ghost Trick.
I mean,
I don't know if I would put it past Phoenix Wright, to be honest.
the first Phoenix Wright, maybe. Phoenix Wright's a good game, though.
Yeah.
The problem is they're all good games in this area.
Mm-hmm.
Like even passing the 50 mark is fucking difficult now.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
Yeah, I mean. we've
Although
got-
I have to say, fucking Alundra has to go up again.
I know.
Yep.
Like, we just keep moving Alundra every Rankomania. It's gonna go up again.
It's
Or I think it should. Anyway.
yeah, I think a lot of us are in agreement on that, actually.
Yep.
But
So,
I mean, it did jump
Okay,
at like
all
12
right.
spots last time, but anyway.
all right, let's go through one more vote, all right, and then we'll go. We'll find a meeting ground, So, Will.
yo, I want it below Phoenix Wright, but above Golden Sun.
Okay. Noah.
I wouldn't go past Golden Sun.
Okay, Ills.
Whatever Noah says.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I'm just saying that. I mean, that sounds fine.
Okay. I'm fine with that too.
Alrighty.
Fair enough. It's one spot. Can't be too much.
It's one spot, yeah. Okay.
Though we have had hour-long arguments over one spot before.
We have. Sometimes you don't think we would, but
It just happens.
sometimes we do because we get very passionate about these games sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Which is the fun of the list. But we had a pretty good, nice, civil, family-friendly argument there.
Sort of.
Chibi-Robo is nobody's gonna get a divorce over where we put Chibi-Robo on the list. I'll tell you
Damn.
that.
Nobody's
Sure.
married.
Well, so maybe there's a married couple listening to this podcast, and
Oh shit.
hopefully nobody gets a divorce over this.
Do we
But
get happy
Chibi-Robo
points
is going
for
to
it?
be number 45 on the list, which puts it in some good territory. We talked about all these games a little bit. Number 43, Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Number 44, Golden Sun. Number 45 now, Chibi-Robo. Number 46, The Wonderful 101. And number 47, Einhander. And if you don't know what that game is, you're probably not alone. It's a little PS1 shoot 'em up game.
It was on the old list.
It was on an old list, but
The old club.
well, maybe I'm sure there's you can look it up. You have goddamn Google. Look up Einhander. It's a cool game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say look up that episode, but it literally never got posted. It's lost forever into the annals of history. But that's Chibi-Robo for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. But before we go, I just want to shout out to ourselves because we're on social media. If you enjoyed listening to us, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Instagram, and you can find us on Twitter. We're on all of those platforms. We will post new episodes, links to our SoundCloud link. If you go to soundcloud.com/jumpupsupercast, you can follow us there, subscribe to us. Is it a subscription? I don't fucking know. Just follow. Follow us on SoundCloud. You can also find us on iTunes. You can rate us 5 stars on iTunes. That'd be amazing of you. And you can find us on other podcatchers throughout the internet. Wherever you just Google Jump Up Supercast, you can find us. You can listen to us. You can share us. So we appreciate all the support from everybody out there. And you can also find us on twitch.tv/jumpupsupercast, which we play video games on once in a while. Muzzy actually went through with streaming the other day, though he lied the first week, but he actually went through and did it this week. So, I called him out, but he went through with it, so I'll give him that much credit. He played Croc, Legend of the Gobos.
What a fucking waste of time.
Yeah. That game
was fun.
That game sucks.
The game isn't the greatest, but it was fun seeing Muzzy play through it.
Yeah, he was struggling because that game is it's a 3D platformer with tank controls. So you can imagine how fucking good that is.
Great entertainment value.
Yeah, well, it is good entertainment. So make sure you follow us on twitch.tv/jumpupsupercast to watch us play video games, and get notifications for when we do go live. But before we go, though, we got to talk about what game we're going to play next, because we are the Game Club and we do play video games here. And Ills, it's your turn to pick a game. Finally, I know you're excited because you wait ever so patiently every time.
I wade through all your garbage picks.
Okay, hold up, Mister. We just played Chibi-Robo. Okay,
Yeah.
this is a good game. So. Besides you being an asshole, what did you pick?
So I mean, everyone here, we're all big fans of Smash Brothers series,
Sure.
and there's something a little special that happened. This is something a little special that happened around Smash Brothers Melee. 2 characters came in from a certain Japanese series called Fire Emblem.
Oh!
Have you ever wondered why Roy's our boy?
Oh no,
We're gonna find out as we play Fire Emblem: The Binding Blade.
Sweet.
Oh. I saw you were
English
playing Visual
translation.
Boy Advance. Now I know why.
No, I wasn't. I was playing Drill Dozer.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, so that's gonna be cool.
Wait, how long
Let's
is
play
that
one.
game? I'm worried.
Like a lot.
Oh,
It's
no.
like 26
Oh,
hours.
I'm excited, but I'm scared at the same
That's
time.
right.
It's your boy Zephiel.
Yeah, I'm stoked. That's like what I'm looking forward to the most, is seeing Zephiel.
Yeah, that's why I picked him for you.
Yay.
That isn't too bad. 26 hours, that's doable. So yeah, I guess that I'm excited. I've never played this game. I played a lot of Fire Emblem, but never this one. So join us back in 2 weeks when we talk about, what did you say, there's a Binding Blade is the subtitle of that one?
Yeah, The Binding Blade.
Okay. So 2 weeks when we play Fire Emblem, The Binding Blade. We're going to find out why Roy is our boy finally, after all this time. Thank you everybody for listening. Thank you Ills. Thank you Noah. Thank you Will. And everybody go out there, play some video games, enjoy your day, and just be nice.